And we're live. Oh boy, that's semi-terrifying. We have 0 viewers since we just went live.
That's a relief.
Tony, we're live. So, real quick, I'm Isabel, and this is the book club that Mel made. Say hi,
Well,
Mel.
hi. Well, it was a joint effort. It wasn't just me.
I know.
I was like,
Oh.
you were like, we should do one. I'm like, yeah, and then we did.
Yes, exactly. And then we compiled women that we know from Twitter, and we've got Amelia.
Hello.
And Ness.
Hello.
I make it sound so organic, sorry. There's a reason I don't do podcast intros, and this is why. Or anything. I'm always awkward about it. But yeah, we read Dime Store Magic by Kelley Armstrong.
No, we should start with Stolen. We should start with Stolen.
Oh, wait, Stolen. Damn it. See, we're talking about our hate. So, we read Stolen by Kelley Armstrong, and we hated Dime Store Magic.
Yeah,
But none of us
far.
have finished. Well, one of us has finished it.
Who's finished?
Me, I finished. I'm an overachiever.
God,
Oh, good for you.
I don't know how you finished that. I'm at like 70%.
75% is when the sex happened, and so I was like, okay, I can.
I know, I
get
saw
the
you
rest of
on Twitter talking about how the sex doesn't happen till the end of the book, and I'm like, that is literally the best part of these books. So this sucks.
But it's not, like, I'll get into that later. Who wants to talk opinions on the book?
I could talk about how terrible the audiobook was. I don't know
Oh
what
my
that chick's
God.
deal was.
Yeah,
She
Clay's
was
voice.
So bad. And can we talk about how she couldn't keep her character voices straight? So like halfway through, Clay lost his southern accent, and like
Which
she
wasn't
was
even that good.
No, it's a terrible southern accent.
That made me stop listening. I switched to the ebook because I couldn't stand his voice.
I had to keep listening. I have an hour commute each way, and I'm like, I can listen for 2 hours every day, but it was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah.
it. And Clay is so hot in the books. Like,
I know.
I don't want that messed
Right.
up.
And in the show, oh god.
Oh, right?
Oh man.
That butt.
The show could just be called Clay's Butt.
I'd
Why
watch
would
it.
watch that?
Yeah.
I watch it.
Did you guys know? You probably saw it if you were following, like, because they just announced the renewal of the second season of Bitten, which I guess sort of might loosely follow Stolen, so that was kind of interesting. But the guy, Grayston Holt, which totally sounds like a romance novel character,
He does.
like would periodically tweet like almost nude photos of himself in like kind of like, I don't know, like, get a season 2, and I was like, oh, so those are gonna be over now. That's sad.
Oh, that's
Till
sad.
season 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
But he's not in. 'Cause
Maybe they'll
freaking-
need ratings.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just derail. That would be good.
Yeah, that
Their
would
own
be good.
storyline, because they kind of did that in the first season.
Yeah, I listened to a clip of the audiobook and about had a heart attack.
It's
He
really bad.
said shaman, like Charmin, and I was like, no.
Toilet paper.
Oh, and Paige's voice was the worst, and now I can't read Dime Store Magic without hearing that horrible,
Oh.
breathy grossness in my head.
So the audiobook's a no-go.
Not for,
Yeah.
not for the second one, at least. I don't know
Yeah.
if the third one is the same person, but
I'm not sure if
Fired.
it is the same, but no, it's so far. And I don't know. I was, in terms of the book itself, I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool, like, idea that she started with. Like, let's bring all these, like, supernatural characters together. But then that was just, like, for the first 2 chapters, and then she was captured the whole book. So,
Yeah. Now
Yep.
in prison. Okay.
yeah.
Somebody else, come on with your thoughts.
I
on
definitely thought
Stolen.
Elena became a little more of a damsel in this book, especially towards the end when her and Clay are going to kill Winslow. Like, could she have been any stupider with that?
I
Like,
thought that death was super lame. Like, I thought it could have been really cool. And
well,
then
and like
in the
serious.
end, she just, like, lets him fall and he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and letting him go, obviously he has the advantage in that. Like, clearly he's not going to have let her in on everything and all the caches and the whatever technology he's got out there.
No.
I
He
kind of just wanted to
reminded
smack
me.
her.
I wanted to smack him because he reminded me of like a typical like MRA pickup artist type, and I was just
Yes.
like, oh no.
Yeah. He was a great character, I thought, in the book. Of all the characters she brought in, he was probably my favorite in that messed up, like, he was really evil and convincingly scary, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. He was. I kept having these like, oh my god, you're that guy. You were that guy.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the epitome of that guy.
I also like the Doctor, but I thought she was pretty stupid towards the end, too.
Yes.
When What's-Her-Face, Susan, got turned into a werewolf, and she's like, I'm just going to hang out in here by myself with her. That can't possibly end badly.
Oh, she was awful.
Okay, can we talk about Susan? Can we just derail and talk about Susan?
Yeah.
Sandra.
Sandra, that's what it was.
Or Sandra, whatever.
Yeah.
That woman, holy batshit crazy.
Right.
Well, and it totally wiped off the whole, oh, she's the only female werewolf concept. Like, it actually seems like it's kind of easy if you just tend to their bedside for a couple days.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought they definitely shortchanged Sandra. I would have been more interested in seeing her deal with becoming a werewolf instead of just becoming a crazy person and dying.
I agree.
Me too. She could have kept her for later books. I thought that would have been fantastic.
Yeah. It felt really lazy to just kill her off.
Yeah.
Well, and what would happen to, like, Elena's only girl status? You know, I think that would add some interesting dynamics later, but...
Let's be real, though. Sandra just was going to sleep with all the male werewolves.
Yeah, she
as
was.
much as she could, because that seemed to be the reason she changed herself to me.
I don't think they would have complained too much about it, really.
I don't either.
Apart from Clay, they probably would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
So I
That was
can't,
actually
I
one
was
of our
disappointed that
questions
she
about
went
Sandra.
down.
Yeah, I was hopeful. I was like, oh, maybe book 3 will be about Sandra and her adventures and Lady Werewolfdom, and then I was like, oh no, it's
Well,
not.
it would have been cool because she's the mutt, too, so she would have been like the outsider perspective versus the pack, whatever.
Well, yeah, and it would have been cool to see how the Mutts reacted to her, since it seems like some of them are obsessed with Elena and trying to get her as if she's a commodity, and to see how they reacted to somebody in the same position, but who was theoretically at least potentially more attainable than Elena was, would have been interesting. It feels like a lost opportunity, for sure.
Especially when she offered, like, to bring her back to the pack and, like, under Jeremy's care. I was like, that would be so cool. And I don't know, like, she doesn't have that female companionship at all. So that was a cool opportunity lost to the wind.
Yeah. I guess who's left? Mel, you haven't talked about what you thought about the book.
I was really disappointed with it. I thought the whole, her being in prison almost the entire book, and how she was like this grand scheme, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, the door's open and we can escape today, like the good timing, and then Clay's just out in the woods waiting around trying to break in to save her. I was like, this is just so anticlimactic, like climatic for me. So.
Well, yeah, the whole.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, and the whole, like, she was there for however long, and it seemed like the security was impenetrable, but then 4 of them can just bust in and it's no big deal. Yeah. That also seemed... It seemed like she got tired of her story by the end of the book and just kind of wanted to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm bored of this. I've set up a problem that I can't solve, so oh well.
So, I'm out. Peace, guys.
Wait, that's not how writing works?
Well, and out of all the characters, what was her name? Was it Cassandra was the vampire girl?
Yeah.
I was really, like, expecting big, like, cool things from her, and she was just kind of, like, nothing at all. So.
Well, and cool conflict between her and Elena. They set it up with that weird, like, dream thing that Elena had.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, they did. That was weird. I just remembered that whole thing. And I remember thinking, oh, this is going to be a sweet battle, and then nope, nothing.
Nope, nothing. Boring.
Yeah. Really
I wonder if she shows up in one of the later books.
I hope so.
That's what, I didn't like how it was like an ensemble of people that she threw in and then they didn't really mean anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's the whole concept of setting them up for, like, later books, maybe. Obviously with Paige for Dime Store, but it just was literally sloppy, and I thought it would be way more than it was. Like, I thought so far out of all of them, like, Mitten was kind of weak in terms of writing, but I at least thought it was really interesting. And I'm like, oh, it's her first book, and she's kind of an amateur writer. Maybe she'll get better as she goes along, but I feel like it's just progressively getting worse, unfortunately.
Well, I feel like her editor should have definitely done a better job in cutting some stuff and having her expand on other things.
Yeah.
You have that good perspective. You should tell her what to do in her future books.
That's right. Pay me instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, for reals.
But
for reals.
So I think we all agree this book was meh.
One of the characters that I thought was interesting that might be in the future was that Xavier guy.
Yes.
Yes. I wanted to see more of him. I was actually hoping he'd show up in Dime Store.
No, he doesn't.
I was hoping. I was like, maybe he'll. And I was, nope, we get Lucas.
Well, yeah, because he's like, you're gonna owe me, and then he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
One day.
Yeah, I would have loved to see him again. He was kind of like sexy bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best kind.
That's right.
Do we want to skip to discussion points? I pretty much agree with everything everybody said, so.
Works for me.
I don't know. I'm trying to keep us semi-structured, but.
Yeah, I can't even see that document, so that's good that you're looking at it.
Oh yeah, I've got it pulled up. So our first one is, how do you guys feel about the kitchen sink approach to urban fantasy? Like, if one story is real, they must all be real.
Lazy.
Yeah. I was getting kind of, even in Dime Store, where they're kind of explaining all these half-demons and all these different things, and I was like, wow, dry, boring.
I didn't think it had enough, like, extra description. It was just kind of like, oh, it's because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Like, it didn't feel like, when you read other books, like, they'll really go into the workings of that. And this, they're just like, oh, because this is what happens. This person fucks this person, and, oh, they have a baby, and there you go.
Yeah, it didn't feel like there was lore behind it. Like,
yeah, it doesn't have any of the weight of, like, a lore or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like, I've been playing Dragon Age again, so I'm going to just bring that up. Because why not? But, like, you feel like there's this whole world behind it you don't see at all.
Because Dragon Age.
Because Dragon Age. Because Fenris. Right?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yes.
But it didn't feel like that in Dime Store. It's just kind of like, well, this is as far as she got in creating this world, and we know all of it, and it's not a lot.
I thought it was kind of funny how they alluded to the fact that Jeremy knew about all these other supernatural creatures in the beginning, and it's like, it doesn't really make sense of why you would withhold that information.
Right, and why it wouldn't be in their, like, big book of everything werewolfy.
Also,
yes,
that was really
that was my question.
ridiculous.
Why wasn't it in the history?
Why was she so surprised that other supernatural creatures exist when she is, in fact, one herself? Like...
Yeah, that seemed weird and like an odd character plot thing to do.
Yeah, I kind of, if I was a werewolf vampire, I would just be like, oh, everything else must be real too, right? Yeah. Like, that has to be a thing.
Well, I feel like you should have at least thought of that as a werewolf, as a supernatural being yourself, that perhaps vampires and witches and all the rest are real.
Or even, like, Clay with his, like, anthropologist background would have a really good sense of that stuff too, I would think.
Well, he would have known all the myth, at least, or a lot of it, especially since he focuses on supernatural stuff, right? So, I would think he would have known. Yeah, the whole thing was just, I felt like it was all thrown together all of a sudden, too. She didn't unfold it particularly well. So it was like, just werewolves to everything ever thought of is now real. And so I was like, ugh. And then the fact that none of them knew about it was just... totally unbelievable.
Yeah. That fire demon dude was pretty cool, and like
Adam?
They just like kind of
I
walk
liked
in the
Adam.
face at the end, and he incinerates the door, and everyone he comes in contact with. So why didn't they rescue her? Like, come on.
You were like, yeah, this rescue could have happened like halfway through the book instead of at the end.
I honestly thought that she wouldn't be there that long. That the rescue would happen or breakout would happen.
And then there'd be more planning of this, like the storming, the siege.
Yeah, or taking down Winslow or whatever.
No, they were too busy having sex to be worried about storming the building. and being creeped on by Jeremy.
And Nick.
I guess that goes right into our next discussion point, the food sex scene.
Oh, God.
Who put that up there? You're going to lead that discussion, go.
I'm going to say it was Kelley, because she's not here and can't defend herself.
When I saw it, I laughed a lot.
I thought it was the most awkward sex scene I think I've ever read, and I've read a lot of weird romance and erotica books. And just
I, too,
like,
spent a lot of time on fanfiction and...
Yeah, that too.
Are you guys
that was just wrong.
referring to the one where like they have a shower and there's breakfast? Is that the
where
one
they
you're
eat
talking?
breakfast and he like shoves a whole pancake in her mouth?
But they're still having sex? Like, what? What's that?
She's like, I'm hungry, but I want to have sex. Both. And then she like
do both at the same time. How did she not choke on the pancakes? I don't understand.
It wasn't like a little syrup or something. It was like a full pancake.
It seems like Kelley Armstrong has neither eaten nor had sex before. Like, I don't understand how she thought those two things would go together.
Not like that.
Have you heard of the grapefruiting thing?
No, but what is
No.
it?
Okay. It's this terrible video on YouTube. Shit, I'm gonna I almost want to just make you guys watch it.
No, I can't do it on my iPad. You'll have to
Please just
explain.
embed it somehow in this video so that everybody is forced to watch it.
You know what it
Autoplay.
is?
I have a bad
I had to
feeling about
listen
this.
to it in the car the other day because one of our friends hadn't seen it, so they pulled it up. She takes a grapefruit and puts it on her man's dick and then goes down on him while, like, moving the grapefruit down.
Like she cut a hole in it?
But why? Grapefruit aren't even that good.
She got both ends off.
I
And then
think that's your problem with it, Melissa.
I don't like grapefruit.
No, I feel that.
the best part is she
unhygienic.
makes the worst. Like, she makes these noises while she's demonstrating it on the dildo, and they're...
Oh, man.
I hope you didn't have any like little cuts.
Oh!
Open any that would just hurt.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, I'm crying.
Sorry,
Okay,
Brenda.
between those two things, I vote pancakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. I just don't, like, I feel like that would be really awkward sex. Like, here, babe, here's a pancake.
It's like a whole pancake. He doesn't even
Right.
cut it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not hot. It was just like, what?
I was just like, who does
Weird.
this? And I had the same thing when, like, Jeremy showed up when they were fucking in the woods with the
Right.
basket.
He's just like, hi, I'm Jeremy.
Like lurking in the corner.
Right. I'm just gonna watch, guys. It'll be fine.
Totally.
Oh, I just did the voice that the audiobook person does for Jeremy.
Well, God, that was Jeremy. Oh no.
Yeah, that was Jeremy. Oh,
That's
You might have
weird.
a career as an audiobook person.
oh no.
Oh.
No,
quit my
no,
day
it
job.
really disappointed with Dad, the sex, because, and then when they had sex, like after he rescued her, and they were like still there where the dogs and the bad guys could find them. I was like, what are you doing?
But they seem like even in the first book they did that. It's like, why?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you two?
I just want to be like, you hold it in for like 5 minutes.
Seriously, get in the car first or something. Lock the door. I don't know. I was the whole time I was reading it like, no, this is a bad idea.
I was waiting for an ambush the whole time.
I was like, this is going to be the best ambush ever.
It would have served them right, really. Like,
Right.
what?
And then you get to book 3 and there's no sex, so you're 75% through it.
Yes,
But
but I
the
will
first
say,
2, all the sex.
I will say that sex scene in Dime Store Magic was pretty hot, way hotter than Pancakes.
I
Oh,
mean,
man.
is that even possible?
I know. It's not a hard stretch. But
Oh.
they just like magic. It's really cute. I thought it was really cute. It's probably my favorite part of the book.
Yeah.
So,
That
I need
seems
to
so
get
out of
there.
character.
yeah. All the
I guess we
sex
should
stolen was awful.
move on from the
Right.
sex, and we can talk about Savannah.
Oh, good.
Savannah.
That
God,
seems
it's
inappropriate to
children.
go from sex to the minor.
Sex to the 13-year-old.
Let's go.
She's like 10, I thought, in the...
Yeah, because she's 12 in Dime
12,
Store.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you have felt guilty for leaving Savannah? What did you think of Savannah, etc.? Thoughts, opinions?
It seems like Kelley Armstrong doesn't know any 10 or 12-year-olds either, because she seemed both too young and too old for her age.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mhm.
Which
Also-
I think you could explain that through the whole witch thing, though. Like she was raised by sort of a witch on the run who was evil. Maybe that grew her up a little fast.
Yeah.
But no, I would not have left her. I was like,
No.
what are you doing? You can't just leave her there. Oh my god. I was yelling at the book, Elena, what are you doing?
Right? Stop trusting Leah and go back for her.
Yeah, okay, did anybody trust Leah?
No!
Like, from the get-go, I was like, this girl's a
one
little weird.
And
I
same
don't know
with
about
Saeed.
this.
Like, really, there's this one guy that, but we're just going to mention him randomly over and over again, but he doesn't do anything. And seriously, Elena did not see that he was catsit the whole time.
Yeah, I thought that was really dumb. Like she should have clued in there.
Elena's just dumb, I feel like.
Yeah.
Dumb. She was dumb in the first one, too.
I feel like she got extra stupid in this one. Like, she hit her head somewhere. And
I wish they would have explained that. Like, oh, she had injections of dumb.
oh, but she's pretty.
She got hit upside the head on her way into the prison and lost all her mental.
Gotcha. It doesn't matter because she's hot, so she doesn't have to be smart.
Yeah, it's true. And she's the only female werewolf.
That's right. So
that
they'll
clears
take whatever
the
they
plot
can get.
right there. Ugh, no, I thought it was terrible. It was not moral. Like what? Like
Right.
I get that you want to get out of there, but what are you doing?
Yeah, I wouldn't have left her.
No.
I wouldn't have left her, no way. I would have left everybody else, but I would have taken the kid, probably.
They were all adults.
And I don't like children.
Yeah.
Right, it was Ruth's dying wish. Take the damn girl with you.
Right? Also, I did not like how she died. That was dumb.
No, that was lazy too.
Yeah.
And same with Armand.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That was probably one of my favorite, well, short-lived characters.
I really liked him, and he was the only one I was kind of mad about when he died.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's no George Martin. She's just trying to kill people off, and I was like, well, I don't care enough about any of these people to really have this affect me at all.
Yep.
I also thought it was really dumb. We have, like, really good thoughts about this book, hey? Like, it's not very good. But the whole Winslow guy with the money, like, you would think just because he's funding it that the other people would have had some more say in the matter. Like, he just seemed like a really big kid with, like, a weird, like, sociopath mentality.
Right? Nobody was like, no, you can't do that.
Right?
They're
like,
like, but he's rich, so he can do whatever he wants. We don't tell him no. He's paying us.
He's 5.
Yeah, he was like pulling the wings off flies. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good metaphor.
which was kind of a lame villain.
I liked him, though. I liked him. I just didn't like how they set it up. I think if it had been set up a little better, he would have been really scary.
Yeah.
Like, his mentality was written very well, I thought, for a sociopath and for somebody who just was sort of a narcissist, never grew up, sort of Peter Pan syndrome with too much money and too much time on his hands. That was all cool. It was just that it was unbelievable that every other person wouldn't have been like, what are you doing? This is bad.
I feel like Montesumi could have been that person because he's so interested in gathering scientific data about these supernatural creatures, and it should have been him being like, no, we can't do this way, we've got to do it like this. Or the doctor, who seemed to have a little bit of compassion for what was happening down there. Right? That was never really explained.
They kind of, like, didn't Elena make, like, a snide remark of, oh, are you just here because you want to research, like, a cure-all for a human disease or something? And she didn't, like, respond or anything. But it was, like, a sheepish,
They could have developed that.
Yeah, no.
That
She died, though. I thought that her death was pretty cool. Like, she kind of deserved it for being so dumb. But I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the better deaths. Like, ripped to shreds. Like, yeah, that's awesome.
I did think it was dumb how they send in Elena to go get the tranquilizers. Like, if it's in a secure room, they could have just left the base and got more tranquilizers, or get the Xavier guy right off the bat to go in. They're paying him. Like, that was dumb.
Also, why do they not have tranks anywhere else?
It's so
Why don't
safe.
they carry them, like, on their person?
Right? What if there was a riot in the cell block? Yeah. What would they do? Like, oh, shit, we gotta go upstairs to the infirmary.
No, because they pretty much let everyone out of their cells all the time and gave them whatever they wanted, so it wasn't even really prison. It was like this semi-cushy sounding place that people watched you to an extent, you know? Besides Elena. But it did seem like everyone else got stuff and had all these things they were able to do in their cell, and I just felt like she was just kind of stuck there.
It seemed like they were cocky enough to think that they couldn't escape if they got out, like, because of the way it was situated, the compound was so remote that they would catch them before they ran far enough.
All the dogs.
Right. I don't know why they thought that werewolves couldn't beat dogs, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you guys think of the group? Like the meeting group of trying to go and get them and stuff. Like, was anyone else just super frustrated by the meeting of all these like magic peoples?
Yes.
And just their inaction, like pretty much.
Well,
like we're just gonna chill here.
You know, the witches' coven on a whole is completely pointless. I don't know why it exists.
Yeah.
But it seemed like that all of them were like, well, there was no real explanation why they didn't just go in right away and get her, especially the werewolves.
Especially, yeah. If
right, I definitely thought Jeremy would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just like I did think like Mel, I thought the rescue would be like the first 30% of the book. I don't know, like not a big chunk like it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what did you think of the writing of this one compared to Bitten?
Worse.
Worse.
Agreed, which is hard to do on your second book.
Well, it's not like the first one wasn't written with a crayon either.
I know, but
like, how did she get worse?
No good editor.
Seriously.
Yeah. Like, at least in the first one, you liked the characters, and you were kind of excited to know where it was going to go, for the most part. This one, I just kind of hated everyone. I was like, I don't care about any of these people. There's too many of them.
It kind of felt like a weird filler episode.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
Yes, in 400 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this book could have been like 250.
Oh, yeah.
Cut out that pancake sex.
And replace it with better sex, because seriously.
All right, on sex. Not enough sex? Enough? Not enough good sex? Too much weird sex?
I don't think there was enough sex, but there was a lot of like that creepy, rapey vibe in the whole prison thing. That was really weird, and it was kind of weird how she dealt with it. Like the author, how she dealt with it. It was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, Elena's supposed to be, what, 31? I feel like she dealt with it like she was a teenager who just went through puberty and had never encountered guys being weird about her body before.
Yeah. I agree.
And not like a werewolf who could tear their throats out.
Right? Seriously. Yeah. If I could have torn Ty's throat out, I would have done it like the first time that he ordered her into that too skinny hot top.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't she? Like, she totally could have, especially when he was in her cell all the time by himself with just guards outside the door. She could have just snapped his neck, and then her biggest threat would have been out of the picture.
Mm-hmm. And the whole organization would have fallen apart, because if you're not getting paid to do that shit, why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I thought would happen. I thought the leader, she was waiting to get intel, the leader would show up, and she'd just kill him. Done. Problem solved.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
She doesn't even need rescuing.
I know. Well, she didn't, because she got out on her own anyways.
Yeah.
I do like that. I like that she did her own thing.
I did too, but I was still kind of like, okay, well then.
Yeah. I wish they would have explained why Katzen and Leah did that whole weird, like, we're going to open all the cell doors, and then we're going to throw glass at you randomly, and, like,
yeah, that was...
Why the hell did that happen?
Escape weirdness ever. Like, the whole...
I would think that their motivation, I don't know what their motivation was, but the way I kind of guess, my interpretation is that Leah wanted Elena gone out of the picture, perhaps, so maybe she aided in her escape and hoped that since the werewolves were so uninvolved that they just wouldn't come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would Leah even know that, though? Unless
I don't know.
She was part of that UN of supernatural creatures.
So was she the whole reason for her even being there, so that she could get a hold of Savannah?
Why are you wet?
I think so.
Is that how that went down?
Or if she just took advantage of that.
I wish they had expanded on that a little more in Stolen, so that when you get to Dime Store Magic, you kind of know where you're headed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure now. But That would have been more interesting. There's so many ways this book could have been good.
That book should have been good. She had some great ideas.
It had so much potential, and it just completely fell off. Stop! I don't want kisses. Sorry.
I'm a pancake. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, pancakes are wrong now.
Right.
Pancakes.
Thanks for ruining
I'm pretty sure
pancakes.
I'd get more kisses if I had a pancake in my mouth.
Oh,
Oh, that is not okay.
that just went more weird.
Well, no, it's just she's kind of a piggy. She's a little bit fat. I don't know. I'm gonna have to preposition my husband for pancakes.
Please videotape this.
Please report back to the class how that goes.
I'll live tweet it. Because I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna be like, "What?
God.
No." I'll be like, "That's what I thought."
Oh, God.
Dramatic reenactment. Needed. Badly needed.
Get off the table. Do we want to touch on some dime store magic stuff? How far are you, Mel?
Not very far.
Yeah, me
like,
neither.
like maybe a quarter the way in.
Well, we could do some of the first questions we have for it and then finish it up next time.
Okay.
Just because we've kind of mentioned it already a bunch.
One kind of does lead into the other.
Yeah, I know. So what did you guys... Okay, well, what did you think of Paige in Stolen?
I hated her in Stolen.
Yeah, I thought she was obnoxious. Oh, God.
She was a whiny little brat, and I couldn't figure out how old she was, because she was all, Mom, it turned out to be her aunt or whatever, like,
Yeah.
whining the whole time. I'm like, what? How old are you? Are you an adult? I don't understand why you're
Yeah,
acting
she
this
had
way.
that I want to prove myself that I can handle myself kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was 21.
Okay.
That's kind of...
Oh, you know what?
21-year-olds are annoying.
It definitely makes it better that she's a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty well written for a 21-year-old. Overall. Not perfect, but better than I expected.
She's just super annoying and kind of daft, like, to me.
Yeah.
But I've read all of Dime Store Magic, too, so I have two reasons to hate Paige.
I feel like a lot of her female characters are kind of like that. They have a certain age stuck to them, but they're still written really like they're juvenile. So.
You're
Yeah,
not getting all the
actually, I think Savannah's the most mature.
which is sad.
Yeah, it really
Although
is.
there are times in Dime Store Magic so far that I'm like, what are you doing to this character?
She's 12, though, so it's okay.
I think
Yeah.
she's 13 in the next book, though.
That makes sense, too.
She's in high school in the next book. They made it sound like.
But she, like, spends half the book telling Paige stuff, and Paige just ignores her.
Yeah.
She's like, no, smart thing. And Paige goes, whatever, you don't know anything, and goes on doing, like, the stupid choice.
Right, it's not like Savannah was 5 or 6.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Age.
yeah.
So
I wanted to
none
like
of
her.
us like. I did too. I
really did want to like her, but
None
it's
of
just-
us liked her in the first book, and none of us liked the transition in the second book or third book to her point of view. Then I take it. We're all like, nope. I think I would have rather more Elena. She comes up in the book once so far.
That's it.
That's it. That's
Pretty much,
seriously.
Yeah.
See, I have to like swoop in at the end and be like,
No.
"Oh, we're here to save the day from satanic cults and
Nah, werewolves don't care about non-werewolves.
baby
Come on.
killers." That's true. That's true.
We're all having sex up in New York. It's fine.
See, that's
They
what I
are
want.
in the house where everyone can hear.
Right?
everything
Or in the
you're doing.
woods.
Where everyone can hear what you're doing.
Where everyone will walk up and stare at you from the edge of a clearing.
No, just Jeremy.
It's okay.
Just Dad. It's fine.
But he brings you snacks.
So freaking weird. Like, oh, no. No, it's normal, because we're always like this. I'm like, nope, sorry.
Right, like you just imagine you're like a father figure in your life doing that, and I'm like, nope, not okay, and I'm out.
That would be really uncomfortable.
Maybe just leave the picnic basket and walk away. Like, anything.
Even that, like,
No, too close to comfort. Nope. Maybe because like you have kids, you're just kind of like immune to somewhat like distractions during those things too? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
You do have to like block them out after a point, I'm sure, but yeah. I guess you guys haven't really gotten into much of the Coven stuff, have you?
No.
Not a whole lot.
So far, it seems like I thought the magic stuff would be really cool, but it's kind of dry and.
Yep.
Well, and witches seem lame. Like, really, you can only do defensive stuff? Come on.
Yeah.
They're lame. They see. I feel like again, it could have been a lot better because there's a lot of cool concepts that they start to explore about why witches are lame. They actually go into that.
What?
Yeah, and so it's like kind of cool, but then they just will drop. She does this in all the books so far. She'll just drop a plot line, and then go on with whatever she was doing before. And I'm like, no, I want to know about that plot line. But then she's like, never mind. We're just gonna go back to this other stupid part. Did you guys get to the part in the funeral home though? That was fun.
I'm not there yet. I'm really.
Oh, that was fun. I liked that.
Fun, right?
Yeah, that was like the best. No, you're not going that way. Nope. Somebody thinks we can climb around on the table.
Werewolf dog.
She's a little small for a werewolf. She's only like 10 pounds.
I will rip your throat out.
So she's Elena, is what you're saying?
Yes. This is little Elena.
Look at those big eyes.
Yeah, I'm a butt, and I like to be nosy. She's like, you're sitting at the computer for too long. I have to come join you. What else? I thought, okay. Okay, what did they go into the sorcerer witch stuff in book 2 at all?
A little bit. Yeah.
Did anybody else find that really just weird?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always viewed sorcerers as like male witches, basically, or like a different type of magic user than a witch. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I try not to be bothered by weird stuff like that. Like, oh, that's not politically correct, but I mean, it's.
I just thought it was weird. Like it threw me off. No.
I feel like they're going to, like, I hope anyway. She's kind of braiding them together and how they split and why they're different, and it is kind of all the same. I hope is where she's going. It seems like that's where she's going.
Yeah.
Because that's where they came from the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And do you think like the final book is like all of these female characters coming together in one book to fight a war or something? Maybe.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know.
Oh,
like I've kind of looked at a few synopses. I can't say that word.
Synopses?
Yeah, thank you.
There we go.
Trying to like glance to see where she's going with this series without overly spoiling myself. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And she's got like some like spin-off shorts like sort of things going on, and one book where it's just about the men of the other world, and I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Interesting.
I hope there's butt sex in the men of the other world. Just because she can't write, like, hopefully there's like Pancake butt sex, you know.
No, crepes. It's gotta be crepe butt sex.
Okay, yeah, crepes.
Classy.
That's right.
I'd lag. I'm sorry. I was just saying I was interested to see if she does write a man of the other world, what her perspective of what sex is like on the man's side, if she can barely write what sex is like on the women's side right now.
Oh God.
Right. I feel like we just needed a director to archive of her own or some good fan fiction, and she'll be okay. Like she just needs to read some better shit than what she's reading about sex.
It's like she only read really, really old romance novels.
Yeah.
Like old.
Or like she's 13 actually and never had sex before, and she's just heard about it, and she's describing what she thinks it'll be like.
Yes.
Hence pancakes.
Yes, so that was a good idea. Pancake. No, but I'm telling you.
I'm going to go back and title this episode Pancakes.
Please do.
Okay, right after this is done, it's going to be
Magic was better. I liked it. I thought, well, you guys will have to...
You know what?
Don't read the book. Just skip to the sex scene. You know it's coming. And it's cute. It's worth a look.
So you finishing Dime Store, did you like Dime Store better than Stolen? Like, is it better? Or is it just...
Or is it more downhill?
I would probably put them about on par, but it was much harder for me to read Dime Store because I don't like Paige as much as I like Elena.
Right.
As a character, and so, but the magic stuff did get kind of interesting, and I like Savannah's character a lot, and I liked where they went with her, and I hope they're gonna go somewhere else cool with her in the next book. So there was that, and the guy in Dime Store Magic is pretty hot. It just took him forever to.
I like him almost more than Clay in some ways.
He's certainly nicer. I like nice boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he also like gives off like, I don't know, he just gives off a better vibe in some ways I felt than Clay ever did.
Well, he's not creepy and possessive, and that's
Yeah.
kind of
that was all kind of weird.
Yeah,
But he's a
Clay's got
werewolf,
that
guys.
going on.
He's got that alpha werewolf thing going on.
And a nice butt.
Yeah.
He does have a
See,
nice
though,
butt.
I didn't find Clay as creepy in the show as I did in the book.
I'm just gonna say, I think the show is better than the book.
So far, I agree
Have you
with you.
guys-
I like the show better.
Have all of us watched the show now?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Go watch
Oh,
it.
dude, I'm
Go
gonna go
stare
watch
at
it right
some
now.
butt.
It's on,
Stare
yeah.
at some nice
Butt
warm
on butt?
butt. Yeah.
That's right. That is correct.
There's way more male exposure than women exposure in that show.
Oh,
I think.
yes.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones, there's a lot of penis in that too. There's no penis in Bitten though. You gotta go Game of Thrones for that.
I thought the Nick threesome in the very first episode was really cool.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was good. Well placed, well
approve.
timed.
Yeah.
I approve of the show. It's fun. It's fun
It
and
is.
lighthearted, and you're not annoyed by Elena. Like she's
And Philip's
cool.
not as terrible. I actually felt really bad for him in the show.
yeah.
A little. Well, okay, at first, and then he kind of becomes really shitty. So.
Yeah.
But he has to. He has to become kind of shitty.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
like the direction they're taking in the show, and it doesn't worry me that that apparently they might loosely base it off of the next season off Stolen, because they've already, based on the finale of season 1, they've already taken it in a totally different direction.
Oh, yeah.
So it's good. I'm excited.
Well, I think they could do a good job with it too. If they got better screenwriters, they could do a great job with that plot. The plot is as is the idea of creepy rich dude kidnapping people and then other people working with him that have their own agenda and the whole thing. I thought that was clever. It just wasn't executed well.
No.
But I would put them about the same.
Yeah.
And I think we should think. Do you guys want to continue in the series?
I was wondering the same thing. I was like, oh man.
I was wondering, are we going to switch books series maybe? Or maybe
or do
pick
some one shots or something?
Yeah, I'm totally down to do some one-shots.
Yeah, I'm down with that
I
too.
think that would be nice.
I have a suggestion. I was thinking about it before we got here. Like, if we decided to switch, what would I suggest? And have you guys read anything by Jacqueline Carey?
Yes.
So she started this new urban fantasy series. Did you read those?
I've read the first one.
I read the first one too.
I
What's
would
it called?
happily reread it.
Agents of Hell with one L.
Oh.
I know. I know. That's not good, but the books are so
Have you read her other stuff?
Yeah, I love her book. Those two Shield books are like my.
I haven't finished them, but I love the first one so much.
I read all 9 of them. They're ridiculously long, but I love them.
I'm working on the audiobooks.
I bet it's fun in audio.
Oh, the voice actress lady, whatever, the reader is amazing.
Really? For the Agents of Hell?
No, for
Oh,
her.
sorry, I got excited.
No, for Q Shield's Dark. I don't know about Agents of Hell, but you can listen to the clip on Audible and see.
Well, I do like urban fantasy, so.
Okay.
They're kind of similar to these, but good.
Does everybody like urban fantasy then? Pretty much.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, I would happily reread that book. That was a good book.
Me too.
I know.
And
the Alex,
the second one now.
Yeah.
So.
The Alex Cross series. I think it's Alex. No, it's not Alex Cross. What is her name? Somebody Price. I've read too many books, guys. Eternally my problem. Hold on, let me search my shelves.
It makes me sad that this series didn't get any better. It just got worse.
Yeah. There's some qualities that are good, but oof.
Another book series that I've read that I would happily read is Grave Witch by Kalana Price. They're really good. They did a vaginal fantasy on them. I don't know if you guys watched that or not at all, or read them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did the first book on vaginal fantasy, and I'd already read it, and it was amazing. And there's like 4 books in that series, or 3 books already. And the 4th one's coming out next year.
Well, why don't everyone throw a few suggestions in the document, and then we can include Kelley in that as well. And
And we'll all figure it out.
I think it'd be fun to find ones that we all haven't read, too.
And you know what? The shittier are, the better the discussion sometimes. True. Sadly.
True.
And then we'll just need to pick a day then. June 13th is when I'm moving, so that's going to be bad time. So it'll have to be like before or after.
After would be fantastic. We have my newspaper's covering 7 graduations that weekend, so I'm going to be brain dead. Yeah.
That's fine.
The following weekend I'm on a trip, so.
That's fine. We could always do late June.
Yeah, that would work.
Works for me.
That would give us a chance to pick a new one.
Yeah.
Well, and then if we're doing something outside of, this series, maybe other people want to join in, like, rather than being committed to a series. If we do a couple, like, one-shots or something like that, they might want to join up.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know. I kind of want to read the rest of this to see how bad it is. But I don't know if I can handle it.
Well, we could come back. Like, we could take a break, and let our minds regenerate from the dead brain cells, and then
the pancakes.
revisit it. Yeah, revisit it again.
Definitely forward to Dime Store Magic for the sex, because that's fun. And then there's like this cool scene at the end with Savannah that's kind of fucked up. That's fun. So then I want to see what you guys think about that.
Okay.
So what if the next one's Dime Store Magic, mini, like, little 15-minute segment of it, and then we'll do another book.
Sounds good.
To break up the Bitten series. All right, I'm going to stop the broadcast. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.